Hello, good evening, everyone. So, we are here live for the doubt sessions of grade 10. Yes, students will be waiting for your doubts in the chat box. Okay, I think. Okay. Right, children, keep on sending your messages. We'll get your doubts clear accordingly. Yes, Ananya, Kangshu, send your doubts. But a vocabulary that will make your answers impressive is as already I keep on discussing that you need to use the words relevant to the chapter. Whichever the chapter you are writing the answers to, just need to think upon that which words could make your answer impressive over there related to the chapters. Like if I talk about here bakers from Goa, there you need to use the word nostalgically, reminiscing nostalgically. The key words of every single chapter. Right. Next. Okay. Yes, children, your doubts. Again, I am asking for the same. Do remember, do not leave any question unattempted. While you would be attempting the paper, do not leave anything unattempted. Just write down for any of the question whatever you know related to the chapter. Okay, state an inference that can be made about Hari relationship with Anil. Hari shared a good relationship with Anil according to the chapter, right? Anil had unshakable faith, same like Lancho, on Hari. But it is Hari who managed, who anyhow, because of his work, of line of work, he tried to deceive Anil. But what happened? Due to Anil's good character, Anil's trait, he was unable to deceive him. And anyhow, he could transform Hari Singh. Okay, the next question I could see on my screen is how can we identify the tone? But a tone, generally they will ask you the essence, the mood of the poet. If I talk about dust of snow, what is the tone over there? So what it is? Depressive, sad. The poet was sad over there, right? And when we talk about the passages, generally this question comes in passages. So when we talk about the passages, there what happens, you need to try to understand that what, in which sense, in which, like, oh come on, you can do it very well, what I never knew. At times we get the a sense that is it a sarcastic one, it's if it is humorous. Okay, so this way you could go for the tone. Okay, next, can you tell the usage of should, could and would models in grammar? Right. uh, for here I would like to talk, but this should we will use only at the time when it is a piece of advice, right? Would is basically for wish, when we are attempting for any kind of wish. I wish I would have done this. I wish, or he wishes he would have told her this. So it's about wish. Could. Could is used for the past of can. Let's say, very practical example. You about to meet me tomorrow in the school, right? Then you are asking, ma'am, if you could tell me this. Then what would be my answer over there? But I have told yesterday you could have attended. You could have means can's possibility into past, that is could. Okay. Um, Hope this question is clear to many of the students watching the live stream. The next question on the screen is the only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed. Okay, this question is from the thief's story again. These lines, the line you are talking here, the only person I knew really well was the man I had robbed, is you has come into the chapter the time when Hari Singh was sitting at the station and waiting for the train. The train passed, but he did not board the train. There he was thinking of, I don't have any of the friends, and only person I knew, I had robbed him. So it's not good of me. It's at the mode of transformation when Hari Singh was having these mixed emotional these thoughts, sitting at the station after stealing that 600 rupees from Anil. Okay, next question. Uh, Again, any other question? Again, children, for the grammar, again, if I talk about here for grammar need to take care. You will have to attempt, marks are 10, questions will be 12. Try to attempt all the 12 questions. All the 12 questions, but in a format that firstly 10, the best ones you think that you are sure enough for the 10 questions, and then the two of the questions which you feel there are probabilities of getting incorrect, right? And for letter, if I talk about letter, editorial letter, for sure you will get, do not forget to give your suggestions, what the suggestion you are giving to editor for the issue you have addressed in the letter. And by chance, if you do not get the editorial letter, then you have the other four letters: letter of order, inquiry, complaint, cancelling. So make sure at least one of the letters should be clear with you. Okay. In the meanwhile, I am getting the questions. Okay, we'll come to you. We'll get your answers again. So we were talking about writing section. In writing section, as I have told you, for letter, then analytical paragraph, 5 marks. For analytical paragraph, children, make sure do not just explain the text, the picture given over there or the graph given over there. The name says analytical. So observe the picture, observe the graph, observe the pie chart, or the, I must say, if they give you SWOT analysis, anything like this, do observe it, analyze it, and then write your answer. Do stick to the word limit. Okay, fine. The question on the screen, there are a number of questions. One of them is like, we'll choose, right. Why did Griffin decide to become visible and to go to Iping? Better, when Griffin had taken the drug, that formula to become invisible, it was winter season. That's why you always get a question over there, that why was it a wrong time for him, because it was winter season. He had to put off his clothes to become invisible. That was a drawback of his formula, we may say. He had to put off the clothes, and now once he had put off his clothes, it's winter season, he must be feeling cold, right? And now here the question says why he decided to become visible and to go to Iping, wear the clothes to protect himself from the winter. And Iping is a place where hardly people they go. That's why there is again a question, that why do the people in the Iping, their tongue lolled, their tongue sway in surprise. Okay. The next question with me I have on the screen is same question you are asking with beta. What are the tips to score full marks? Okay, we'll talk to it again later. Just before that, because I want, if any of the students they are missing, do contact them and let them also join. Right, we'll talk about this question, the tips to write and score full marks. Okay, the next question I have with me on screen. Ma'am, can we say Lomov was beating around the bush while talking to Chubukov in the starting? Yes, we can say, because here the platform, the ground needs to be developed. As always in the writings, we say directly don't hit to the target. You need to build a ground, build a platform on which you will talk about, and thereby you will start your conversation. Okay, fine. So in the meanwhile, I could get more questions on the screen. Would like to address the trick asked here to write answers to score full marks. But in whichever question they ask you, whichever question from literature, firstly think that what would be the specific points for that answer. Means my answer should be revolving around, let's say, this 1 or 2 or 3 pointers. Because in short answer questions, when we say three marks question. So what you have to do is hardly 2 or 3 points. So firstly figure out those 2 or 3 points and then start your answer, taking care of the relevant vocabulary along with the tense. They ask you over there. Okay, fine. Then so if children, if you are getting the answers to your questions, if you are getting the things clear, do keep sharing the message with yes or yes ma'am as you wish. Next question with me is on the screen. Analytical paragraph can be write in percentage, but this is, I must say, at the last, after analyzing your picture, your graph, your given data, your facts, if you feel that I do not have enough of the material with me to cover up the word limit, then switch on to the percentage if they give in you that pie chart. But I must say avoid doing that. Direct, just don't go with this 40% of this, 30% of that, 20% of this, 10% of this. Do not go in this form because you are not analyzing here, you are describing. That is called describing. You are to do analyzing over here. Do take care of this. Okay, please keep on responding to me so that I could get to know that my students are getting the answers. Okay, the next question with me on the screen is message of the poem Amanda. Amanda is a poem where we could get to know that a mother, from the teenager's perspective, is nagging to the child. The mother is trying to point out the girl, or for the betterment of the girl, of her daughter, to not to go with number of things mentioned in the poem. So message here directly we can say is, it's that a plea, a plight of a teenager, when he or she feels that he had been nagged for a long time. Elders do need to correct the younger ones, but to some extent. Okay, so this is what you can write over there. Next, the question I have on the screen with me. Mandela said, people must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love. Discuss. Very good question, and one of my favorite question over here. But see, let's talk about the two newborn children and two newborn babies. I always give this answer with this example. Without knowing each other, we cannot hate. We are blank pages. Let's say you and me, we are blank pages right now. I don't know who you are and you don't know me. So for me, you are a student, one of the students who is here to seek help for his English exam. So, and for you, here is the teacher who is helping you out. That's all. So this is what we know about each other, right? But at a point of time, someone comes and just criticize about you or me to you or me. Like the person comes and says that, beta, this is how your teacher is, and this and that and that. So what is he doing? He is making you learn to hate, and the person is trying to make me also learn to hate you. So when this can be taught, that how to hate each other, so why not we can teach each other to love? Why just we always criticize? Actually the question is this, why to criticize? Why not to appreciate? Always criticize. So this is the essence of the question, but you have to answer with reference to Nelson Mandela, A Long Walk to Freedom. Am I clear? If yes, do respond. Otherwise, type your question again. Next question I have with me on the screen is uh, difference between anaphora and alliteration. Come on. But anaphora is something where you could see word repeated in the beginning of the line. A very good example, fire and ice. Some say the world will end in fire and some say the world will end in ice. Some say, some say. Repetition of word in the beginning of the line. That is anaphora. And alliteration is the initial sound repetition. When there is a repetition of initial sound, let's say some say SS. Here I would say sound matters, not the letter. So if you are getting me the sounds, then it is alliteration. Anaphora in two lines, right? Alliteration, same line. And that is with the initial sound. Alliteration, initial sound. Anaphora, other words. Okay. Next question says, what were Lomov's thoughts regarding squeezer? I have already asked you this question earlier and discussed also. He talked about that he is a bad hunter. Then there was a lower jaw given in the book, that he had a lower jaw, he runs slow, he is a bad hunter. All these things you will have to add for the idea of Lomov's towards squeezer. Squeezer is a pet of Natalia. Okay, next question with me. Uh, okay, error. It's 24 hours. R is not the word. Hours. HOURS. Right? The next question on the screen for me is, Amanda is alone, but not lonely in the world she envisions. Give instances from the poem to justify. Yes, Amanda is alone but not lonely in the world she envisions. Now, which world she is imagining herself? Mermaid. She considers herself to be Rapunzel. She considers herself to be an orphan. Then, what else? One or two other points might be. So, when she envisions all these things, is she entirely alone over there? No, there are people around him. She says, I would run here with bare feet. I would not open my hair and not let anyone they come over. Mermaid. When she becomes mermaid, she has to swim in the water, and obviously other creatures would be there. Okay. The next question is right. But the question you are asking is not relevant because it's not into that depth the question goes about. So nothing to worry about the question. Russian society emerges as an important character in the play, not required. Anyways, okay. How the proposal is humorous. Humorous means funny. So how it is funny? Here the funny means, here funny says they look. What is the play about? All about their argument. They are arguing with each other. We are to have a humble relation, polite relationship, a good relationship with our neighbors. But here they are fighting over the passed over things like oxen meadows. And then they come to the squeezer and guess. So altogether what they are doing is, it is humorous. It's a funny tone. The language the writer has used over here. Cite the examples that how they condemn each other, how they criticize each other. So this is how we can say the proposal is humorous. Okay. Next question says, fiction. Okay. But a gray character, right? Okay, gray character. See, black and white, when we say, it is simply either protagonist or antagonist. Okay. Now, gray character here says that you need to be very balanced over there. So there the character is balanced. There is a transformation in the life. Black and white, their transformation is not revealed, but here the transformation in Hari Singh is being presented, is portrayed in the chapter The Thief's Story. So we can say that it's the grey character over there. What is anaphora? Bete already discussed. Anaphora is the repetition of the word in the beginning of the two lines. Beginning of the two lines. Some say, some say. So that is anaphora. Again, in Amanda as well. Amanda, they use don't. So you can use their anaphora. Right? Next question on the screen is by one of my students. The poet has succeeded in giving valuable information in a light-hearted manner. Its importance in the present day, tell with reference to dust of snow. Right. Nothing is ill omen. People, they keep on perceiving their own assumptions that maybe this is ill omen or this is a lucky charm. There is nothing like that. The nature has healing power. Nature does not discriminate. It's we people who creates this discrimination, who creates the ill omen and the good luck and the bad luck. So it's a very light-hearted man. It's a very light-hearted poem, and the way the poet Robert Frost has presented, has portrayed the poem. Okay, I would say someone is asking me that if this question comes in 6 marks. Come on, I'm sorry, I don't know what's your question. If you could repeat the question. If it comes in 6 marks, which question? Okay, right, the brackets, okay, the parenthesis you mean to say in Amanda, but it is a monologue. Monologue means a person is imagining, is talking to herself. So those parentheses explains the monologue of Amanda. Of Amanda. Right? So whenever she is being nagged by her mother, what she thinks back of the mind is given in parenthesis. Okay. The next question on the screen is, right, children, good getting your questions. That's good response I am getting here. Just again, before we could wind up with the things, if your other friends, they have any of the concerns, any of the questions, do ask them to join and get their questions clear, because this is a last hour discussion for your syllabus, for your doubts. So do take the advantage of it. Just see if your friends could join, if they have any of the queries, maybe from any of the schools, people around, somewhere around you, those who are going to appear for the exam the next day. Okay. Right. Meanwhile, the next question, my students are ready with their questions. What do you mean by honor among thieves? But thieves, they do not betray each other. They do not cheat each other. They do not deceive each other. That is, they have honor. They respect each other. But in the chapter, a question of trust, we have seen this has been broken. This myth I would not say. This statement is proved wrong, because when the lady in red, being herself a thief, deceives Horace Danby, pretending herself to be the owner of the Shotover garage and getting the safe opened, all the things robbed, and then intimating police, and that too without gloves. She made the safe open by Horace Danby. So this is all what, it's the myth that honor among thieves exist. Okay. What is repetition? Repetition is a come on. Repetition is something, the word repeated, when the words are repeated. Like remember the right now the word is I think in tale of the tale of Custard the Dragon, they have used the word really or truly two times somewhere, maybe. So when the words are repeated, that is, you could say, repetition. How the proposal is humorous? Okay, this question is 6 marks. But firstly, you will talk about that there is an argument without any reasons on these points, and when then and there the most humorous part comes when Natalia criticizes or condemns or argues with Lomov on a high extent, but as soon as she gets to know that Lomov had come to propose her, she changes. She proves to be a lovesick cat over there. She cries, she grumbles that please get Lomov back. And she surrenders even. Okay, come on, we were wrong. This oxen meadows are yours. She then and there gives up the argument. But when she gets to know about the fight. And second humorous situation comes when at the end they keep on fighting for Guess and Squeezer, but they end up with they end with patch up. All of a sudden they patch up. So that is again a humorous situation over there. Just to get married. Okay, next question is, yeah, we need to learn the name of the poets, children. You need to learn. They may ask, they may not ask. But the thing is, to make your answer impressive, you need to, if you are damn sure, then do write the name of the poet in your answer. Okay, right. Next question on the screen is 1 and 2 brackets in Amanda poem. Come on. What does the first bracket tells? If you could give me a hint regarding what does she imagine and in the beginning, maybe mermaid, I don't know, just see if mermaid, if it's mermaid, then she imagines herself to be a mermaid. First I need to know in sequence, is it the is it the sequence orphan, mermaid and Rapunzel? Just type yes or no. Oh, right. It's not the sequence. So please do let me know the sequence. I could so that I could answer your question. Keeping this question on hold, we'll move to the other question. What is transferred epithet? But a transferred epithet is very good example I have in my mind from poem Fog, where they say silent haunches, appearance of fog and disappearance of fog, and the hovering of the fog over the city and the harbor is presented with the metaphor of cat. When the cat comes stealthily, stays for some time and then moves away. Um, right? So there the word is used silent haunches. Who is silent over here? Movement of the cat. Haunches, silent and noise, there is no question of it. So when we are the noun and adjectives they qualify nouns. So when the given adjective is not used for the immediate noun, that is called transferred epithet. Silent haunches. Silent is adjective, haunches is noun. So silent word is not used for haunches, it is used for the cat. Therefore it is transferred epithet, because silent is not qualifying the immediate noun. Right? Okay. I have got the sequence. Yeah, I was right. First, mermaid. So she imagines that if I would become mermaid, I would drift blissfully in the ocean, happily. There would be no one to point me out for the time or something. It's getting dark, get in, it's morning, wake up. there would not be any such questions for me, any such pointers for me. So this is what she monologue, that is what she talks about in the beginning of the first parenthesis. Second is orphan. She thinks of that I'll move bare feet, dusting the dust and all such things. So this is what she interprets becoming an orphan. No one would be there to point me out. Rapunzel, she wants to live all alone. She says it's okay if I would be captivated by a wizard. No matter. I would never open my hair to let any prince get in. I would be all alone. I don't want to be with anyone. So this is what she interprets in these three parentheses. Okay. The next question in the meanwhile I have got is um, main points of Miss Bill the Otter. Okay. Uh, right, children, just would say give a pause to your questions. The reason is I'm having good number of questions on the screen. The questions will keep on passing and I don't want to ignore any of the question. I don't want any of the question to be overlooked. So give a pause. Let me solve first few of the questions. We'll let you know that continue your questions, right? The question is main points of the chapter Miss Bill the Otter. So the very first thing you need to know, there are three scenes, I guess. So you need to start with from how Miss Bill came into the life of the writer Maxwell. How Maxwell went to Basra. What was the reason? Why the mail was late? Then second, his what was how they both became each other's friend, Nisbill and Maxwell. Why he was called as Maxwell's Misbill. Okay, what is unique about Misbill? What are his past compulsive habits? Then what all happened in the flight? More important than flight is the box one. When he was put into the box for the flight and he tore it into the shreds and all. Blood was all dried outside. He opened the lock, he opened the lid and rushed into a taxi for as the flight's time was getting late. That part. And yes, the water loving part of Miss Bill, that Miss Bill loves water a lot. So how he used to play with water, he loved flowing water, the water that is in movement. He does not like the still water. That's why somewhere there was a point when they say if you give water in a bowl or something, it's not sufficient for him. He would spill it, then he would play with it. Okay, so this is what you need to go through from Miss Bill the Otter. That are the main points, right? If yes, please respond, and if you need something more, do ask that. Next question is from Matilda. Okay, disposition her doom. But this comes towards the end of the chapter when Matilda met Louisel in a park. That name is mentioned in the chapter. They meet over there and she narrates the whole incident, whole story when she asks that what is the reason of your such a weird condition today? Why you are looking that old and a weird condition, your hands that rough, number of questions. So there what happens? Matilda narrates the whole incident of the past, that what happens, how they had to live the life of drudgery. Then listening to all this, Madame Forestier told her the things that the necklace was not the original one. Okay. Next question. And moreover, here to be more clear, to make myself more accurate, You are saying I have interpreted your question incorrectly. The question says, Madam Louise's disposition. Okay, I thought Forestier. But already she was considering herself an error of destiny in the beginning. Remember the phrase error of destiny? She was already considering herself that. She was not happy with her life. She was not happy with her she was not happy with her life. In addition to it, in conjunction to it, she borrowed the necklace and she made her life worse. That is the exact answer for the question you asked me. I interpreted it for Madame Forestier. Okay. Right. Keep on asking your questions, children. I am moving towards the end of the questions with me. Okay. The next question with me is, what do antagonism and contempt? Antagonism, okay. But there are two words, protagonist, antagonist. Protagonist is for positive, antagonist for negative. Negative character. And contempt means satisfy. Here, contempt is something, then you are satisfied level. Okay, and if you could tell me the text, I would be more elaborative over there. Language of poem Amanda. Amanda, language, I must say, it's bit persuasive because Amanda's mother is convincing her for the things that you need to do this, you need to do that. So here they say it's persuasive. Okay. Tone and language is one. Then the question is, this you don't have this poetic device, grade 10th, methodology. You don't have. Don't you panic for this. She was all alone. She was feeling solitude while writing the diary in the beginning. She was all alone. She was craving to have a friend. Okay. So to be more elaborative for your thought, for your question, that what is the language of the poem Amanda, you can say yes. The mother's tone, the language used here is authoritative, critical, demanding, because the speaker is demanding repetitively to Amanda's flaws and shortcomings. Is that clear? The one who asked me the question about the tone of Amanda. Right? If it is clear, do, yeah, okay, fine. The next question with me is of, okay, what are the main points to remember? The making of scientist. Okay. Do note down, children, the points, or you may come back to the video again after the ending. What are the main points to remember in the making of a scientist? One is, from the very beginning, how his mother played a vital role, Ebright's mother, his full name, the name of Richard Ebright, that one. Okay. Then you need to go through how the travel of Monarch X opened a new world of science, a new world. What is the role of Dr. Urquhart? What change, how the participation in grade 7th competition, county fair, brought a drastic change in his life. What happened after that when he participated in county fair in grade 7? Because that is proved to be the turning point. Then next question, next point is, okay, the cell theory. The cell theory he invented. That one, yeah, he discovered, I must say, that from the pupal stage there are golden spots on the monarch butterflies. So what those golden spots, those are not ornamental. They produce a kind of hormone. He did a research over it. He gave that hormones to, he fed the pupil stage at the to the those hormones. and they grew into an adult. This point you need to take care. And yes, besides being a scientist, he possessed many other characteristics. What are those? He participated in MUN. His mentor was his SST teacher, Mr. Vihar. Do remember this name, Mr. Vihar. And his roommate's name are wrong, I guess. Are, yeah, just see his name are wrong or something. Along with him, he published a paper in the journal. In the beginning, it is told that hardly this magazine publish any of the journals. Okay, so that point you need to take care over there. And what are his other habit? What are his other qualities? Those things will come into the picture. Right. So do see the name of the friend. Yeah, it is James R. Wong. Along with him, he published that paper in which the cell theory they have discovered is they discussed about it. So do remember that. I think I am clear for the making of a scientist. If yes, please respond. Okay. It's quite easy, but how tea from Assam was a journey of the northeast state because they exploring the whole of the Assam. In the beginning, they have told that from the train they could see the lush green boundaries and the bushes of the tea, and then the explanation, description of Dhekiyabadi tea estate. So it's a whole journey from the train reaching till Dhekiyabadi. Okay, so that answer will come over there. Why did Wali find a woman passenger repulsive? Okay, that woman, the one who was chewing beetle, having big lobes in his ear, holes were big, and the big earrings, chewing beetle. It seemed that the beetle juice will any time spit on Wali's face. So that lady was continuously pointing her out, continuously asking her to sit down, to not look outside, don't behave like this, not to do that, something like this. So she finds that lady bit repulsive. One main point here will be his physical appearance. She didn't like her appearance, the way she was giving that a sense and all. She didn't like that. Okay. In Letter to God, how would you justify that the action of postmaster and his fellows was an act of charity? Why not? It's quite easy. Because it was the faith to have the firm to maintain to maintain the firm faith, to maintain the unshakable faith of Lencho, the postmaster and his fellow men. They contributed. They contributed the part of their salary to help someone unknown. Charity is something where you do not think about your own self. It is selfless help. That is charity. They have contributed their salary. They have contributed some part of the the part they had on their own. They helped an unknown person. So it was an act of charity where the postmaster, where Lencho demanded that his family would go starving. Okay. What increases noodle intelligence? That vitamins capsule he was talking about? Okay. Um, the next question I have on this, already this question has been discussed, beta. Why does Horace Danby get angry when someone talks about honor among thieves? Though at last he got what he wanted, he became assistant librarian. But in the meanwhile, in this course of journey, the when he learned the lady in red was also a thief, then the statement, the saying that honor among thieves is proved to be false. Okay. So this question could be answered in that tone. Starling bird. It's the starling bird that eats. What learning do we get from the chapter? Okay, here you could say that if we do not have anyone around us to talk, then the diary is our best friend. Do not forget to point out the statement, paper has more patience than people. Do talk about this point in the question that is being asked. Why? What is diary teaching us? Okay, right. Again, other questions, if there is any. Waiting for your questions, children. If you have genuine questions. Okay, so was talking about in the meanwhile about your paper attempting, though I have talked about section B, writing and grammar. Children, section A, reading section, 20 marks. You know there would be 2 marks, 4 question in both the passages. 2 each means 2 questions in one and 2 in the one. Altogether 8. Avoid copy pasting the text from the passage. Avoid it. In any case, you are unable to reframe your own, to reframe the answer in your own words, then go for the last minute to copy paste. Better, something is better than nothing. Do score at least some marks instead of leaving any of the questions. Do not leave any of the questions. Right, in the mean, I have got a question on the screen, but waiting for more questions. So I was talking about the reading passage. When they ask you synonyms, find out the synonym of this word from the passage. If they mention the paragraph number, it becomes very easy, right? And sometimes it's somewhat very strange. Then do try to bring out the relation from the surrounding words. What exactly the line is trying to tell us, right? So that will give the answer to your question about the meaning. Fine. Do not answer any question in one word unless it is fill up true or false. If they are asking you any of the question in the question format, let's say what is the tone of the line this. So don't you write sarcastic. No. Don't you write straight for humorous. The tone of the sentence, given sentences whatsoever. Okay. Okay, the next question I have with me is, ma'am, do we need to know about DNA part from making of a scientist? No, not as such, but yes, you need to know the cell theory. What exactly the cell theory talks about in the chapter. Don't go into biology, in the chapter. Okay. Yes. Next question, if any. It's almost, we are to touch 1 hour. It's 54 minutes. Any other question if I have, we'll take it, or else we'll uh, come to an end of the session. Okay. How did Hari Singh justify to himself on stealing Anil's money? In the beginning, he says, come on, it's been a long time. I had not done my line of work. I have not done my work. The line of my work of my line. So there, he makes himself understand that come on Hari Singh, you can do, just go for your work. Whatever your work is not to make food, not to study over here. You are here to steal. Go for it. Do that. So whatever is your line of work, go for it. That is how he makes himself understand. Next question. Okay. Fine. So I have covered section A, section B. Coming to section C, literature part. Literature part, children, you will have a 40 marks, right? There you will have 2 extracts. Then question number 8 from first flight, 9 from footprints, 10th from again first flight, and 11th from footprints. Do not leave any of the question. Same again and again I am saying, do not leave. You come across a question, do write something or the other thing relevant to the chapter if you do not know the specific answer. Okay. Okay. Noodle avoids offending think tank, but at the same time he corrects his mistakes. How does he manage to do that? He smartly manages this. Very smartly. When at first he points out at the time when there was uh, misinterpreted that it is a ear device, communication device through ear. Then smartly he pitches in and talks about that it is something to visualize. It's a visual communication. He smartly manages the situation without putting any of the questions on the statement of his chief general think tank. What is the tone of the poem The Trees? Okay, you may note down the tone of the trees. That is, it's a condemning tone. This poem has a condemning tone that criticizes human actions. It criticizes humans' action that harms the environment. And also the way earlier people they used to restrict women. It's on womanhood, feminism. So remember one thing children, this poem is an allegory giving two messages based on life skill. One is for the trees and other is for womanhood. So the question may come, allegory one. Okay, tune of Annie Gregory already discussed. Anyways, it's a conversation between Annie Gregory and the poet. Tone of the poem Annie Gregory's, for that you have to answer that it's a conversation. It's a poem written by William Butler Yeats, W.B. Yeats, in a conversational tone, right? The poem talks about how different people perceive beauty. Beauty is not something that you could see physically. It is something, the inner beauty. When poet asks Annie Gregory that the person should love you for yourself, not for your beauty. Then she says that yes, I would get my hair dye. Different colors she points out over there. Okay. But it was not medicine, it was just the vitamin capsules. The question I have got by one of the students regarding think tank, which medicine was given, it was just the capsules, vitamin capsules. Do remember the name of the crew, probe 1 I guess, yeah. Do check once the name of the crew, the name of the spaceship that landed on the earth, and the name of the book that saved the earth, the Mother Goose. Okay, then why though that era is called as the era of the book? Learning attitude, the question that flashed on my screen right now, answer to the question is learning attitude. She had a learning attitude, she is open, she is curious. The postmaster had mixed emotions while opening the letter. Yes, when first time he saw the letter, he broke into laugh. He started to laugh. But as soon as he opened, that is first he laughed. But as soon as he opened the letter, he saw the letter, he read the letter, the emotions, he became emotional. He understood the depth, the cruciality of the letter, and asked his fellow mates to contribute for the person. So this is how the transformation of the emotions had taken place in the chapter while opening the letter. Firstly he laughed, then he understood the essence of the letter, and there is an act of charity. Okay, this is not required. The asked question right now is not required here. Okay, any other question? Otherwise we are about to end up the session. It's almost 1 hour. Still waiting for you people if I have any. Right? Okay, so Mercy is going to end up the session. Come on, children, if you have a question, do ask quickly because I need to end up. When he was 25 years old. Okay, this is the question when they ask is that how did he become ascetic? How did he thought of enlightenment? He saw an old man, he saw a funeral procession, he saw a beggar asking for alms. A sick person, 3 to 4 people he met. It is given in the very first page of the chapter. What did Siddhartha Gautam come across by chance when he was 25 years old? While he was going out for hunting one day, he came across these 3 to 4 situations. In the very beginning of the chapter, it is discussed over there. Then he thought of, because being from a royal family, he never had come across any kind of pain. He never knew that what the pain is. But when he saw that, he decided for enlightenment. He became an ascetic. He wandered for a number of years and then he sat under a peepal tree and gave his sermon that his life is mortal. Okay, the next question I have is no need. In the question of no, you don't need to talk about the second letter over there. Only first question is sufficient. First one is sufficient because they are asking us to that part only. You will just unnecessarily exaggerate. Onomatopoeia, come on, have used clank, squeak, weak, the words that represent the sound. Those are onomatopoeic words. It is used in the tale of Custard the Dragon. Right now I recall only that poem. So, right children, hope the session proved to be a bit fruitful for you people. You might have got some help out of this. Please do respond once so that I could get to know that I proved to be something useful to my students right now. Yeah, thank you for your feedback. I'm getting. Okay, that's good. It's quite a pleasurable moment for me that my students have been satisfied with their queries. Right. So do rock tomorrow. Ask, just pray to God. Have faith on yourself. Keep calm. Don't panic. Read the question carefully. Think about answers and then write. Keep on writing till the time invigilator comes to you to collect your answer sheet. Because there are a number of questions, do attempt the extra questions as well. Right? Because at least if your attempted question becomes wrong, that the extra one could help you to get more questions, more marks. Right? So finally, wishing you all the very best and let's rock together. Thank you.